that's first and foremost, mainly on communication. Um, you gotta. Where'd Candace go?
No idea. She was a teleporting ghost. That's why I said she has a spider on her foot.
Mm, Candace, where'd you go? You got anything to add, Callahan?
Um,
Oh, sorry, I was doing an assist.
not at this time, but
Pertaining to communication only.
you pretty much covered it. But
Okay.
yeah, we definitely need to be using 10 codes and communicating more, more efficiently. Especially, I understand that it's a little quiet sometimes, but try to keep the radio comms open for radio traffic only. So when
Yeah.
we need to speak, that radio channel is open for us to just get our message through.
100%. Now, if you need to have a conversation with somebody, whether that be a supervisor, myself, or anybody else on patrol, all you gotta do is ask to meet up with them. Talk to them in person. It doesn't need to be on the radio. Okay, let's keep radio comms to a minimum and keep them for scenes and stuff like that only. Okay, if you need to talk to someone about something or something like that, meet up with them. Talk in person. Okay. Candace, you got anything to add about communication?
No.
Okay. Next, chain of command. Um, Whoever is the highest ranking officer on duty um, has control of all people on duty. Okay, they are the authorized person to grant um, like demands for hostages and stuff like that, and they are to be taking control of all scenarios that come about, especially when everyone else is cadets or anybody else is a cadet. Cadet, your guys' main job is really just to be a sponge and understand how we do things and stuff like that. Okay, and then do the uphold the SOPs and stuff like that, and your duties as an officer. However, when it comes to decision making and granting access or permissions for certain stuff, no cadet has any authority or whatsoever to do anything like that. Only officers and above do, and the highest ranking officer on duty has that authority. Okay, so whether that be myself or Candace, as a part of command if we're in city, or if we're not and only Officer Callahan is, then he is the highest ranking officer on duty. So he has control over it. Do not question his authority. Do not, or anyone, the highest ranking officer, do not question. In the middle of a scene, you are not to be questioning their authority or trying to, uh, you know, take command of the scenario or something like that or anything like that. Does that make sense? If you have any if you guys think that the whoever is making that decision, or those decision making, you think that their train of thought is incompetent or something like that, bring it up outside of city in an email and bring it to supervisor's attention or the person above them, basically the chain of command. If they're doing stuff that's questionable and you think it's against our SOPs and stuff like that, then please bring it forward. I encourage anybody to, regardless of rank, to bring that kind of information forward. But in the middle of a scene is not when to do that. Okay. So in the middle of a scene, we need to make sure that we're doing what we need to do, staying focused, and concentrating on the scene itself and making sure that we can apprehend the suspects and everything else. Okay. Anyone have any questions pertaining to chain of command?
Nope. I'm good.
Okay, activity quota. If you guys have read the SOPs, I know I made an announcement the other day, but the SOP is changing for the activity quota. Um, I don't know who set it to what it was, but I mean, the way it is now is that you are only required to have 3 days on patrol, and patrol must last for 20 minutes or longer. I mean, that's really only requiring everyone like an hour and 10 minutes of time on duty, which is literally, it's kind of ridiculous. So that is being upped a little bit. It's nothing drastic, but it is definitely going to be a little bit more because, I mean, It's got to be a minimum. There's other officers here that are putting in time and stuff like that. And I understand you guys have lives and stuff like that. That's not what I'm questioning here, but we just got to be mindful and respect everyone else that's being here, that's trying to, be on duty and, be a part of PD and stuff like that. We need other active people here to help out and, assist everyone. We're all one team, we're all one family. So we need to make sure that we're helping each other out as much as possible. So, if you guys, if you didn't know, Section 707-2 is a activity quota. It is being changed to all LEOs, regardless of rank, will be required to have a minimum of 3 separate days on duty within a 7-day period, and you must patrol for a minimum of 1 hour. So that's only requiring 3 hours a week and 3 separate days within a 7-day period. I don't. Does anyone have any objection or issues with that? Is that something that's doable for everybody?
I don't see no issue with that.
Exactly. I didn't think so. I mean, I want to make sure though. I'm not trying to be unfair or unjust, but there's got to be, a standard and a minimum. 3 hours, I think, is still pretty low. But I'm not trying to. I mean, our department isn't really big. As our department grows and we get more and more people. Those kind of SOPs will be revised, and we'll make changes accordingly. But right now, I'm trying to make it doable for everybody, given the stance of PD currently and how how many people we have and all that. So that's what it's being changed to. You need to have at least 3 days on duty, and and within a 7-day period. And you must be on patrol for at least 1 hour. All right? Anyone have any questions about that?
My fault. Is it? I'm gonna revise. You said 1 hour a day or 1 hour?
1 hour per patrol, and you're required to have 3 patrols within a 7-day period.
Okay.
3 separate days. So yes. Yep.
Understood.
All right. Cool. Good question. Okay. We're going to go over primary, secondary, and tertiary before we start going into the actual scene stuff. That way everyone understands. Raise your hand if you do not know what all of the responsibilities of primary are.
If anyone needs it, flex your
B muscle.
X muscle.
Oh yeah, X or B. If you do not know the primary, all the responsibilities for primary, I'm just trying to get a head count. So is that just you, Benji? Chris, you know all the responsibilities for primary?
I know a lot.
Okay.
I could explain it to him, but I think that's your job.
Yeah. We're going to go over it. All right, I just want to make sure. All right, so primary. Primary is can involve multiple different scenarios, whether that be, for a store robbery, or for a 1080, or any domestic dispute or anything like that. Primary is the first person on the scene. Okay, primary's first and foremost responsibility is to assess the situation. What that means is, try and get a general head count. How many suspects? Are there hostages? Describe the basics, the general scenario for all officers so they're up to speed. If there's a car involved, what car is it? What color is it? How many doors? If they're at a location, robbing a store, what location are they at? How many people are inside? Do they have any hostages? What kind of class weapons do you see? I mean, you don't have to get up all up in their face. We're just looking for general ideas so we know when everyone else gets to the scene, they know how to how to act for the most part, to make sure that we are handling the scene correctly. Okay, so that's first and foremost. And really, when you arrive to a scene, I know like a 1080 is different. You guys are just going to engage, and then you just go into the 1080. Or if you get to a scene, it's not a violent scene or something like that, you can approach the scene. However, if there are suspects with hostages and guns drawn and stuff, it is not in your best judgment to approach the scene by yourself. You need to request backup, and while you're requesting backup, you give all that information to them so they know what's going on, and then you need to stay at a good distance until you get backup there. Okay? Does that make sense so far?
Yep.
Anyone got any questions so far?
Nope.
I'm going to keep asking. I'm going to keep asking that. I'm going to keep doing little stops to make sure everyone understands before I keep continuing. I don't want to have to. I want to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Yes, sir.
So once backup gets there, and everything, the second person will be there. That'd be secondary. We'll go over secondary responsibilities and everything afterwards, after this. But once secondary has gotten there, you guys are to approach the scene, approach the situation. But however, primary is still the first person that was there is still primary. They still have control over the scene. Now, if the primary that gets there is a cadet, there can't be any store robberies with just cadets on duty anyways. So when the officer gets there, or the highest ranking officer, they can choose to take primary if they wish, depending on the situation, but that will be under the discretion of the highest ranking officer on duty, okay?
Excuse me, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
So, with I know you just said question. I just thought of this one. So, when you said the primary, so when you say we're asking for backup, you don't want us to approach them or talk to them yet so far while we're waiting for backup?
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
Well,
So
the
you
reason
just
why...
stay back and
Yeah, so we'll go over. We're going to go over a scene, so you'll understand a little bit better. But yes, you aren't to approach until you get back up there, because majority of the time, there's multiple suspects. Okay,
yeah.
and if you're all by yourself, especially a blueberry, a lot of criminals don't give a fuck. You'll probably get shot and they'll run out. You know what I mean? And then scene's over.
Understood.
So,
Understood.
yep.
Alright. I have one small question. Does anyone guys got water?
Do I got water?
I
I don't.
May I please have some water, please?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Cool.
Name?
I am Delton Security.
There you go.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys.
No worries, man. After secondary has gotten there, you guys are to approach the situation. Like I said, a commanding officer on scene can choose to take primary if they see that it's needed. However, all officers and above, we're trying to get you guys, trained as well. So we're just gonna assist you. We're probably gonna let you guys be primary if you guys get there first. However, if it's like, say, a big bank robbery or something, and it's just the cadet gets there first, more than likely an officer's going to take command over the scene. For a big situation.
So basically, you're saying just like if it's a small little crime, like a small robbery, then cadets can take primary. But if it's like a big heist or something like that, you want
Right. And it's at the discretion of the commanding officer on duty. Yeah. If it's
Yeah,
myself,
makes sense.
I'm probably going to let you take control over it anyways because I want to see how you do. I'm still going to be there to help. And now if it gets out of control, then yes, I'm going to take over. But it's yeah, you get it. But anyway, so you guys approach, and the primary their main job is to be in direct contact with the suspects at all times. So they've gotten there first. They've, called out all the information, general information about what's going on, and then make sure everyone's moving so we're not getting booted out of here too. Make sure that, shit, I just threw myself off.
Can you go on? Are you on your voice back shouting? Or are you on normal?
I'm on normal. Do you need me to shout?
Can you please shout?
Yeah, I'm
Because I have
shouting.
to- Alright.
Oh, because you guys are in the hangar. Come over here.
Well, I didn't want to make everyone move.
Yeah, no, you're good. I forgot the hangar. It's the sound is different. Let me go grab Candace.
You're good.
Okay. So the primary's responsibility is to stay in contact with the suspects at all times. So they approach the situation. They are to introduce themselves, including but not limited to badge number, department, and last name and rank. Okay. So when I get to a scene, I go. How we doing? This is B301, Lieutenant Tito Hawk with the LSPD. You know, you are introducing yourself as an officer of the law and notifying them that you are an officer of the law. Okay, that's the first and
So-
foremost thing that you must do.
So can I say this? So you're basically saying, hey, my name is Officer Lane with the
604 is
Yep, yep.
1041-10-8. If any supervisors could come get me from MRP
Yeah.
when available.
10-4. I'll have Candace come get you. Candace, you want to go
So
grab him?
I think she's still in her head.
Candace, baby. Candace, can you hear me?
Yeah, she's in her
Yes.
head. Oh, never
Sorry.
mind.
Can you go grab Riker at MRPD, please?
Yeah. Can I
Thank
take your
you.
car?
Go for it.
So basically, you want me to say, like, you want us to say, hey, this is for instance, me. So my name is Officer Lane with the, I guess we'll go by LSPD.
Yep.
The reason why I pulled you over here was so. So basically like that.
Yeah, so the main thing is just to introduce that you are an officer of the law. Yes. So you need to
Gotcha.
say, yes, that you are introducing yourself as such. Afterwards, we need to. Our next step is de-escalating the situation. At all times, we are to be de-escalating, any scene, especially any violent or hostile situation. Tensions are high. People, especially criminals, don't know if they're on drugs or anything else. So, our main focus is to keep them calm, keep them understanding as much as possible, and working with them. Okay, not trying to raise too much any more hostile engagement or anything like that. Okay, I mean that's for our safety, for their safety, and the hostages' safety, and everybody. Okay.
I got one quick question again.
Mhm.
My bad. I don't mean to cut you off. Do we have Narcan if someone's on drugs that we can give them?
No, we do not.
All right.
So de-escalating the situation. So what that would mean? So you already introduce yourself. You're like, so what are we doing, guys? What's going on? What seems to be the issue here? Just trying to interact with them. The more they talk, the less likely they're going to do something. Criminals get antsy. They start staying around too long. They start to get suspicious, and it's just not going to end with. So it's to keep them engaged, keep talking with them, try and engage everybody in there. So you introduced yourself. What's going on? How we doing? Next thing that we need to be doing is making sure that if there is a hostage, we need to make sure that the hostage is okay. Whether they need food or water, or they need any medical attention, and we need to be making sure that there's any other hostage if they have any more hostages or anything like that. Okay. So get there, introduce yourself, de-escalate the situation, find out if the hostage is okay, if they need anything, make sure that there is proof of life of the hostage. If there is no hostage, they have no bargaining chip. If they have no hostage and they're at a store robbery or something, they're not leaving there without a gunfight. They have no bargaining chip to get out of there. So they got to have a hostage. We need to see proof of life and everything, okay?
401 to 301.
Send it.
The location?
We were at the airport hangar on the south side, on the east side of the airport.
Okay, well.
10-4. We did name, de-escalate, hostage. Okay. Next thing we need to be making sure that we do is getting a total count of everyone involved in the scene. Okay, whether that be everyone inside, including hostages, and we also need to be asking them if they have any additionals outside of this immediate scene. Okay, if they are uncompliant with that kind of information, you need to get with the commanding officer on duty, and they'll know how to handle that. But we need to make sure that we're asking if they have any additionals, how many people are inside, and stuff like that. Afterwards, we need to. The next step is we need to be making sure that we are trying to get a list of their demands. Okay, so what they want in exchange for the hostage and stuff like that. Basically, once you get the list of demands, secondary is going to take care of all that from there. But while you are getting a list of demands and secondary is working with, chain of command to, grant those things, Primary needs to stay focused on the suspects at all times. Do not take your eyes off of them. Do not move away from the door. Keep your gun out, lethal or non-lethal, depending on the situation. You know, the commanding officer will tell you guys what to do, but you guys, primary has to stay focused on what's being done in front of them. That I'm going to say this first and foremost: the next person that allows a suspect to walk out of a store robbery without us giving them permission will be getting a strike. Okay.
And the strike blends into a demotion, or just
3 strikes and you get you will be on administrative leave, and then if you are a cadet, you are actually you'll be off the force because you're right now as a cadet you're probationary. However, if you're an officer and you get 3 strikes, you'll be put on administrative leave, and you will have to retake your test before you can become an officer again. So you'll basically get bumped down to phase 2. A cadet, you're basically just done. And if you're above an officer, yeah, you're going to get demoted every time you get 3 strikes within a 30-day period. Okay.
understood.
So you guys, so while secondary is dealing with all that stuff, getting permission, you know, for the demands, you know, primary, you need to be staying engaged with them. Continue to de-escalate the situation. So when we get there, we do our name, we de-escalate. After we get all the information, we continue to de-escalate. Okay, keeping them involved, keeping them engaged. Once secondary has gotten with you, you know, with the demand requests and stuff like that, you know, then you go back and, you know, tell them, like, all right, sir, we've spoken to my commanding officer or whatever. We're going to grant you this, or we're not going to grant you this, or whatever it may be.
Now,
Hold on, give me one sec, man.
yeah.
You grant it and everything, and you need to make sure that they are going to, you know, that is okay with them. You know, making sure that they are going to comply with those demands. We're going to comply with their demands in exchange for them complying with our demands. Our demands are very simple. They're always the same. They need to release the hostage to us, as while they remain inside the establishment, wherever they're at, or whatever they're doing, they need to stay there, release the hostage. At that time, primary, you are to still stay at the door, still stay engaged with them, continue to de-escalate the situation. Secondary will take care of the hostage, and once secondary is clear, he will tell primary. At that time, primary, you are then to, you know, notify the suspects of, you know, that, all right, you have complied with our demands, we are going to be meeting yours. So we are going to be granting you the free passage now, and whatever else they asked. And, you know, you guys are to get, primary is going to then coordinate with everyone else on scene to get in their vehicles, you know, whether that be for a 1080 or whatever, and just take command over the scene as primary. You know, you let them know, like, okay, you guys are going to be good to go when all officers are in their vehicle, and you guys will be granted your guys' your demands for the hostage, okay? And then he goes into that vehicle pursuit or whatever it may be. All right. Does anyone have any? That's primary in a nutshell. I mean, primary still takes over as a 1080. We'll go over 1080s here in a little bit. I'm talking just about scenes though. Okay. So does anyone have any questions about primary as on a scene?
I just have a quick general question. Okay, so whenever we have like a store robbery and you're primary, are you the one that's making the negotiations, saying, okay, we can meet this, or whoever's the highest rank on scene?
Highest rank on scene is the only person that can grant demands.
Okay, what if a cadet is the highest rank? And
That
this is
won't happen.
hypothetical.
It doesn't happen. Impossible.
Yeah.
There's not allowed to be more than 2 cadets on duty at one time, unless there's an officer or more or higher on duty.
Understood.
Yeah, we don't need 4 cadets, you know, going to a call at a store robbery, and you guys are trying to be trained. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah, I understand that, but you know,
Yeah.
like I'm just saying hypothetical, like if this happened.
yeah, it's hypothetical, but like everyone here. I mean, I know you're new, Chris, and everything, but everyone, if there are already 2 cadets on duty and a 3rd cadet wants to come on duty, you're going to have to wait until an FDO or another officer comes on duty before you can go on duty. Okay?
Understood. Understood.
Yep. Anyone else have any questions regarding primary? Benji, anybody else? Everyone be a little quiet.
I don't have a question, but more or less a suggestion for the group just to help
Of
just
course.
limit the interruptions. So if you guys have a question, just flex your H muscle like this, and Tito will answer it as soon as possible. That way he can finish what he's saying,
Yeah.
and it helps just limit.
I
some
get
of the
off track
interruptions.
real quick.
Yes, my fault, my fault. I was like this, and I went like that. No one saw my hands. So
Yeah, if you can raise your hand or do the hand, yeah, anything. Just as soon as someone talks, it literally like throws my brain for a loop.
Yes,
Not gonna
I
lie.
Yeah, like I said, it was just a suggestion to help
No, it's
limit
okay.
the
Yeah.
interruptions.
Awesome.
my bad. I'm not like trying to purposely.
401, can you advise me on your location again?
I'll send you 911. Um. Okay, so, Candace, do you have anything regarding primaries? Any questions, comments, concerns?
No, you covered it.
Callahan, you got anything?
Nope, you covered it.
Okay. All right, we're going to go over secondary next, y'all. Secondary. Okay, cool. All right, secondary. So primary is already on scene, or they're already there. They're staying at a distance. They're waiting for backup. Once you get there, you are on the radios. You need to say, all right, I am 23 on the scene. I am taking, badge number, blah blah blah, is taking secondary. You are notifying everyone that you are on second on scene, and that's the position you're taking. Okay. Once you get there, you need to get with primary and how to approach the situation. Okay. So primary is still in control. Secondary, you need to you just got to do whatever primary says. While doing your duties. So you guys approach. While primary is talking, you are not to talk to the suspects or hostages, period. That creates confusion for the suspects and the hostages and everyone inside and everyone involved, okay? Your main job is to convey everything that primary is talking about to the suspects and hostages over the radio, that, the information that we need. When I say that is information like how many people are inside. And just because primary doesn't say this stuff doesn't mean you don't say it. This is the type of stuff that you need to be relaying over the scene or over the radio for everyone else that's either en route or on duty, so they know what's going on, okay? So when you guys get there, you are on the radio saying, hey, primary such and such or badge number 503 or 501 primary and 604 secondary is approaching the scene. At that same time, he's like, secondary say, I see two hostages. We have a count of two hostages that are inside, 3 suspects, class 1s are engaged, no shots fired. If there's a vehicle, you need to give the vehicle description. At the same time, you need to be asking for a 28 for a plate check. Read off the plate.
401 mic check.
Check.
You put out.
Do you check? What's up?
You send a 911 call, I didn't get nothing.
I did send it out. Yeah. Candace is on her way to come get you. All right. You can't see our blips.
No.
Everyone.
Obviously.
Are you at MRPD? Where
Try now. Try now.
I'm at Zancudo.
Look at the air. No, bro, the airport. I said the airport. I don't know why you went to Zakuno. Do you see my blip now at the airport? A firm. Gotcha. Okay. Jesus, where the fuck was I?
You're talking about secondary.
No shit, cadet. Approaching the scene. All right. So yes, you need to be making sure that you're giving all the information pertaining to the scene to everyone else on duty. That includes how many suspects, how many hostages, vehicles involved, the license plate. We need to be running a plate check. We need to get a name on it. Was the vehicle reported stolen? Get a description of the vehicle and everything like that. After that, you are to remain quiet and wait for the information that primary is gathering to relay over the radio. That being such as the demands for the hostages, and then second, so primary will ask, what are your demands for the hostage? They'll say free passage, no spike strips. Secondary, your job is like the suspects are requesting on the radio. You just like I'm just 604. I'm just using your number as an example. 604 to command on duty or highest rank on duty or whatever. The suspects at the latest 1032 or store robbery is requesting no spike strips and free passage. How do we proceed? Primary or a highest ranking officer will then grant or deny depending on the situation and everything. And at that time, when you get that word from the highest ranking officer on duty, you then convey that to primary. Hey, primary, those demands have been granted by badge number. Okay. At that time, primary is going to continue to do the stuff, and you basically are just waiting for instructions on on getting ready to take the hostage. Okay. So when the primary is getting ready to bring the hostage, getting ready to get the hostage out, you need to be stepping away, not on the same side of primary. So if we're at say we're at a store robbery, primary and secondary should not be on the same side of the door. You guys need to have full 180 degree, lookout. Primary needs to stay on one side, and secondary needs to stay on the other. So when the hostage comes out, you guys aren't being confused or too much traffic going on between each other or anything like that. Secondary, you need to step away from the door, away from the scene a little bit, bring the hostage over there that's more safe, out of sight, out of mind of the suspects, and you need to search, and you are to search them. Anything that is illegal on them, they are to be removed. If it is any like illegal narcotics and stuff like that, they are to be placed under arrest, because they do have stuff. All that stuff. If it was placed on them, that'll be all done through investigation. Okay, but if they have anything illegal on them, they are to be placed under. They are to be detained for the time being. After whatever is happening, whether you guys get that person in the squad car or you release them because they're good to go, you then need to get back with primary and tell them, all right, hostage is clear and safe. We are clear to proceed. Then primary can take control over the scene again, and he can instruct everybody to get there, get in their cars and get done and everything. Okay. Anyone got any questions on secondary? Is that Blake? Who is that? Is that Kyle?
Yep.
It might be Blake. He was here earlier.
That's Kyle.
Yep.
What's up, Kyle?
Hey, sorry for being late.
All right, all right.
There was some traffic.
No worries, no worries. We just got. Alright, since everybody is here now, everyone hear me? I'm shouting. We have already gone over communication regarding radio communication and everything, as well as chain of command. And we've also gone over activity quota, and we've gone over primary in full and secondary in full. Does anyone that's gotten here late or anything have any questions pertaining to any of those categories? Cool. Alrighty. So we've gone over primary and secondary. The next is tertiary and any remaining officers on duty, okay? Tertiary. Your main job, so when you get there, primary and secondary are already taking control of the situation. They are there, they're engaging with the suspects and everything else. Tertiary and everybody else that's coming to the scene, is responding to any situation, your main job is to do all of the other little dirty work and anything that requires anything with the MDT. Under no circumstances is primary or secondary to be on the MDT while actively engaging in the suspects. You can't see what's going on. You're an easy target, and it's just don't do it. Yeah, you will receive a strike for that too if you are caught on your MDT tablet as primary or secondary in the middle of a scene. Just for obvious reasons. So anything that requires like the vehicle plate lookup, you guys are to be doing that. If they got an ID on any of the suspects inside or any of the hostages, they need to be running those background checks and stuff like that. Do they have any? Does the vehicle have any active bolos or any warrants or anything like that? We need to start doing all the other little stuff that doesn't pertain to immediate, suspect interaction. Okay. At the same time, tertiary and any other officers on scene, you guys need to be what's the word I'm looking for? Surveilling. I don't know fuck. You need to be making sure that the area around is safe for primary and secondary. Okay, making sure that you guys are. You tertiary and any other officers, you guys can do a lap around the block, see if there's any additionals around, anybody else driving around the area, if there's any cars coming up. If anybody tries coming to the scene that is outside perimeter, thank you. Anyone that is outside, tries coming into the scene from the outside, only tertiary and other officers that on scene are to approach these people or civilians or anything, to get them away from the scene. At this time, the scene is under investigation and is under control from PD. So we don't need primary and secondary to have to worry about that kind of stuff. That's why it requires at least 3 cops for there to be for at least a store robbery. So the tertiary should be taking care of all this stuff. Whether that has to deal with press trying to come and try and get a news report on it, or any if the suspects inside have any additionals and they're trying to come into the scene, you guys need to take care of it as tertiary and above. You need to making sure that it is safe for your primary and secondary. Now, during that whole thing, you basically just, you're the eyes and ears around the area. While primary has to doing stuff, primary is doing all their shit. They will instruct you guys on what to do, whether we're getting ready for a 1080 or we're doing this or that, as well as what the demands are. You guys are on radio, you know what's going on. If they don't request no spike strips, tertiary and above, you guys need to be putting those spike strips down. Okay. First, primary and secondary can't step away to go put spike strips down in the middle of while they're talking to them. So, it's just stuff like that you guys will, start to, comprehend a little bit more and be a little bit more on top of as you get more experience and stuff like that. But you guys are just to do everything else that involves, with the scene that doesn't directly involve with the suspects. Okay. And assisting and aiding primary and secondary in any way. Does anyone have any questions?
Nope. I don't have anything. I don't have a question, but I can give them an example if you'd like regarding a previous scene that happened.
Go for it, Callahan.
So this happened when I was still a cadet. We responded to a store robbery up in, I think it was the Mirror Park gas station. There was 2 suspects inside, 1 hostage. That we had plenty of officers on scene, and this kind of falls into the whole situational awareness thing. There was an issue. I can't remember exactly the circumstances behind it, but we ended up in a gunfight, and there was a 3rd individual across the street with a heavy revolver, and he knocked out all PD. So then they got a clean getaway, no questions asked. So tertiary really needs to be on top of their situational awareness. That's really important.
Exactly. Thank you for saying that. Sanchez, you got anything to add to that?
No, I don't.
Candace? No.
Nope.
Dragon?
There was a store robbery at one point that I was actually on a training call with for cadets, where pretty much the suspect got a scot-free away because the cadets immediately lost track to him. That's, again, situational awareness. Not everybody is planning for the same situation, even in training. So it's going to be one of those things you really got to pay attention to your perps and where they plan to go.
Exactly. Primary and secondary do not need to be, they have too much already that they have responsibilities for and too much going on to also take control over, situational awareness and stuff like that. I mean, obviously they need to have situational awareness, but they don't need to be worrying about anything else going on outside of them being engaged with the suspects and the hostages. You know, that's why we have tertiary and everybody else here. Yes. Question?
Yeah, so question for you. So like say, you're tertiary and you're securing the area, making sure there's no snipers on any roofs or anything. Obviously, the what if we come across someone where, you're driving and you can actually see someone up on the roof and, obviously they're there because their plan is to shoot you at that point. You
Good
can't
question.
legally apprehend them with lethal force, but,
Right.
what kind of,
Right.
because at that point they're there to kill you, regardless.
I understand that.
How would you go about that?
Good question.
So, like, something like that, negotiations would either be canceled if the sniper doesn't go away, or, well, sorry. Negotiations will be canceled if they don't agree to remove the sniper, and if they do, then you guys can continue negotiations. However, if an officer is, in danger either by them, shooting at you or whatever, your life is more important than the hostage. It sucks to say, but that's just how it is. So, you obviously want to keep yourself prioritized at all times. So, if they just endanger you, then you're allowed to cancel negotiations.
Yeah, I do agree with what the detective said. At the same time, I'm not giving you, that doesn't give you authorization to just start shooting because you see somebody.
Right, no,
Okay.
right, no, I understand.
So what if you do see someone? Great question, Jordan. So if you do see somebody on a roof or something like that, first and foremost, you need to relay that over the radio to primary. You need to say, whatever badge number to primary at the latest, blah, blah, blah. I have eyes on a suspect that is at the scene on a roof across. At that time, primary will be, taking control and, like, getting everyone else, like, in order, whether that be behind cover and stuff like that, so they can keep them safe, as well as talking to the suspects, asking, is this your person? Is this part of your crew, or is this your additional? If they say no, then yes. I mean, if they're a hostile threat, then we will move into all tertiary and other officers will move in on them to apprehend them. Okay. If they do say that they're part of them, primary will talk to them like that person needs to step down now, or we're not going to comply with demands and stuff like that. Okay. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but it really is just bringing that information forth to primary so that they know how to then talk to the suspects on, relaying the information for the demands and stuff like that, okay? If they want us to comply with their demands, they have to comply with ours.
Gotcha.
Good question. Great
Appreciate
question. Anybody else got any good questions?
Negative.
Anyone, any other officers or above got anything to add on top of that?
No.
I don't.
Okay. That pretty much sums up all the informational part of this training session, guys. The communication, chain of command, activity quota, primary, secondary, and tertiary. We're now going to go over, we're going to do some in-field training. We're going to do a few 10-11s. We're going to do a few code 5s. We're going to do some pit maneuvers, and then we're going to do some 1080s, all right? We're going to have our FTOs and supervisors be the suspects in these scenarios. I'm going to have Officer Callahan taking control over the cadets for the time being, while the supervisors and everybody else are going to be the suspects interacting with you guys and doing these things, okay?
Roger that.
Alrighty. We're going to do this in teams of 2. So one cadet's going to have to go with Officer Callahan, and then all the other cadets are going to have to be paired up. All right?
Roger that.
Okie dokie. Dragon, if you want to get with Sanchez, you guys can pair up. We're going to do 10-11s first. We will have. I'm going to give everyone the chance to do primary and secondary. We're going to do a mock-up first, where I am going to do it against, I'll do it against Dragon and Sanchez, and how you guys are to do the situation, and then we'll run through it for you guys, okay? The biggest thing is efficiency. We need to make sure that we're doing what we came here to do. We're doing the things. We're in and out, okay? I see a lot of times we are wasting so much time on scene, and that puts us at a huge liability. You are then a huge target. You know, us staying on scene for 15, 20 minutes gives the suspects ample time to call in backup or anything else for them to come, and, you know, and now you're just a standing target. You're out in the open. So it's all about being efficient, getting the information we need, you know, doing what we have to do, and getting off scene, okay? So everyone, for the first one, I want everyone to just follow me in their cars. When I get out, everyone just come up and just, you know, come up behind me and just watch, okay? Watch how I assess the situation, how I do it, and then you guys will all get a chance, okay? All right, everyone pair up. Let's get in the car. Let's go.
Does it matter who we pair up with?
Nope, don't matter. Dragon and Sanchez, you want to get in the Maserati over there? I'll pull you guys over and we'll do this. Appreciate it.
I can take a cadet, phase 1 cadet, if somebody needs it.
Go.
Are we gonna get on FTO?
FDO?
Wait, is that who's the officer now?
No, that's Callahan.
Yeah, Callahan.
Yeah, he's going to do him next.
No, I know. But I mean, like, do we want to get him FTO certified?
We will, yeah. Dispatch, so B301 in a 1011 with a white and colored two-door sports car, occupied times 2, no additionals needed at this time.
I can come up to you, right?
Yes, come up here. Alright, just so everyone can hear me. Everyone understand what I just did, right?
10-4.
Alright, that is a requirement every time you are doing a 1011. All of that information. The vehicle name, and one other thing I did not do, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't see a license plate on this, but I would say you need to say the vehicle name, how many doors is it, the color, and then you need to say, can I get a 1028 on license plate number, you know, and then read it off. At that time, you step out the vehicle and you approach the situation. Your other officers that are gathering that information for you will relay that information to you while you're, you know, handling the situation. So I'm approaching, and we go from there. Okay, everyone get closer so they can hear me, please. So I don't have to dig on the radio.
Cadets, come over on the driver's side of the vehicle, please, so we're out of the way.
All right, sir. How are we doing today? This is Lieutenant Hawk, B301 with LSPD. Do you understand why I'm pulling you over today?
No, I don't.
Sir, I got you going at 84 mile an hour in a 55. Is there any reason why you're speeding today?
No, there's not.
Okay. Well, I just need to see your license and your registration and everything, and we'll see if we can get you out of here. All right?
Yeah, here you go.
Appreciate it. So yep. So at this time, we're making sure that I'm getting their license and their registration. First and foremost, I'm not telling them exactly why, all of the things I'm pulling them over for. I'm giving them a generalization of what's happening. I'm telling them they're being pulled over. I'm asking them if they know why. They say no. I'm giving them a brief description, the main reason I'm pulling them over, and then I'm asking for their identification, okay? Before we start reading them off a bunch of charges and stuff like that, you need to get proper identification. Because if you start reading off charges and all this felonies and this and that, they're like, well, shit, I'm about to get fucking done for anything under the sun here. I'm just gonna leave. I'm already out of my car. They're in their car right now. They could just pull off and leave, and then I'm fucked. You know what I mean? So make sure we get proper identification and everything, and then you go back to the situation. That's like, all right, sir, I got your stuff real quick. I'm just gonna run your information real quick. Please just hang tight for me for the time being with the vehicle off, and I'll be back here shortly. Okay? Alright, so at that time, I'm going back to my squad car. I'm getting back in the vehicle, okay? I'm going to pull up my MDT. I'm going to run the name of the suspect. If they have any, I'm looking to see if they have any priors. I'm looking to see if they have, if the vehicle that they're driving is theirs. At that time, you should have, any additionals that ran the license plate for you, They should have told you who the vehicle came back to, and if it has any bolos or anything out for it. So you, at that time when you're going through your MDT and searching for the car, or searching the guy's name and the vehicle stuff, you should have all the information there. You know, if it comes back, they come back clean, and they come back as, you know, no bolos or anything. I just got him for speeding. You know, if he's the first time I'm seeing him, I'm probably just going to write him a warning. It's not, you know, he wasn't doing over 100 or nothing like that. And he's been compliant and all this. You know, if he's being uncompliant, is being hard to deal with, and he was speeding a lot more, you know, I'm probably going to write him at least a fine. If he's got priors and an active bolo and stuff like that, so we'll go over the code 5 later, but next. But you're just gathering all the information, and then if you're going to write them a ticket, you get the ticket started in your vehicle, okay? They can wait in this car until you get it done, but that's where efficiency comes into play when writing a report. You don't need to write the detailed report. You can do that after you let them go as just a fine, but you need to get everything else in there because you need to be able to submit the report before they pull off. That way that they get charged and fined for what you charge them for, okay? Afterwards, you can always go back and re-edit the report, and you can put in your detailed report then. You just can't change it just doesn't let you change what you are actually charging them for, okay? So at this time, this is a minor offense or whatever. He's just minor speeding. He's being compliant and everything. I'm getting out of the car. I'm giving him a warning. I'm coming back. Hey, all right, sir. Everything checks out. Please just keep it under the speed limit, please. If I see you speeding next time, I'm going to have to write you a ticket for that, okay? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Thank you. You are free to go when my lights are off, okay? So and they say, okay, great. Once you get back to your car, you turn the lights off, they may leave. If they don't comply with that, you know, that is turning into a 1080, okay? They left before they were given authorization to do so. They're being uncompliant. If I'm writing him a fine, you know, like, all right, sir, unfortunately, I am going to have to give you a speeding ticket at this time for, speeding in the 2nd degree. You're going to be receiving a $750 fine that you're going to have 3 days to pay. You can pay this by accessing the fines area when you think about fines. Do you have any questions pertaining to this incident or to the fines that you are being charged with? Alrighty. So like I said, you are going to be free to go when I get back in my car and I turn my lights off, okay? So that's pretty much all you do. Does anyone got any questions over doing a regular 1011?
No, but I want to go first.
What's that?
Me want to go first.
Does anyone have any questions? Nope. Okay, great. I want you, when we do this, I want you to first approach the situation like it's a minor offense and they have no priors. And then we would do it one more time, and you're going to do it as if they've already given them a warning. You're going to give them a ticket, okay? Obviously, you're not going to write any of the stuff on the MDT, but, you know, you just do, like, the general stuff that you would do, okay? So whoever wants to go first, raise your hand. All right. Whoever's with Chris, go ahead and line up behind the Maserati here, and we'll get this going, okay? Let's try and get this. I'm not trying to be here all night, so let's try and be efficient about this and in and out. We got a few other scenarios to do tonight.
Therefore.
All right.
Can we use your vehicle, or do you want to use ours?
Just use your guys' vehicle. I'm going to be following you guys and watching.
All right, let me get in the driver's seat.
Jesus Christ, man. It's like a bunch of fucking ants.
What do you mean?
They're all like running around there like chickens with their head cut off.
I know.
Doing that, so.
These boys, man. You're doing good, though.
I'm getting tired of talking. Alright, whoever's taking first, go after the Maserati.
I mean, I figured.
I'll come on the other side to the
Oh my gosh. Did
I'm not a good driver.
you just jump out the car?
Nope, wasn't me.
Yes,
It was my
he
twin.
did.
It was my
Yeah,
twin.
he did.
Wasn't me.
Yeah.
Wasn't me. Wasn't me. Wasn't me. Wasn't me.
This guy.
The liabilities.
The liabilities. Maserati, what's your 20?
Right in front of the airport guard. Up at the top.
Oh, you turn, brother. I want to, yeah, if you're not doing the scene right now, you can just stay put over there where you guys are at, and we'll get you guys next. Just be ready to be the next.
Mr. Maserati, what's your 20?
Come over here, Chris, where the lights are. Behind you. He's right in front of me.
Keys.
Alright, you're good to go.
What's my call sign?
605.
605, 1011 with a two-door, white and colored, occupancies, times 1, on 1x1, additional 32 seats.
Vehicle model.
Oh, it's a wine colored, Mercedes,
Maserati.
Maserati.
Maserati, there you go.
Man, this guy's struggling.
Hello, sir, my name is Officer Lane with LSPD. You know the reason I'm pulling over today?
They get nothing better to do?
Well, no, not necessarily. I caught you going a little over the speed limit.
How much is a little?
Like maybe like 2 times the speed limit.
Is the color of his skin? Are you racial profiling?
No,
right
sir,
now?
no, sir. Why
No,
would I
no.
racial profile someone who's black, right? I think it's my way around.
Listen. What is 2
301,
Alright,
quick question for you.
Can I get your license, registration, proof of insurance?
You still haven't told me how much.
Keep 10-2 until the scene's over, please.
No, you were going 83 miles an hour.
Okay, so then
That's
there's
a
no
statement,
light.
alright?
So it's 83.
Yeah, it was 83 miles an hour. Can I get your license, registration, proof of insurance?
You can. You talk a little bit slower. I can understand you.
Alright, Mr.
Yeah,
Sanders.
make sure to enunciate, make sure, I mean, I know you're trying to be quick and everything, but yes, we need to make sure they can hear us, you know.
Yes, sir.
whenever
So
they-
are we going this as a ticket, right? Or a warning?
This is just gonna, this is the warning part, so
Alright.
you already asked them for their ID and everything, you
Yes,
know.
sir. Alright, I will be right back. Sit tight.
Yep, so right now, you're, a few things that you could have done before. I know there's not a license plate on this car, but you could have read off the license plate to any additional so that they can, you know, get that information for you. You got that guy's name, so you're looking him up on the
Yes, sir.
MDT. You're doing the whole thing. Get back out. You're like, all right, we're you got no priors or nothing. I just want you to watch your speed and all this and that. Okay.
Yes, sir. Alright, so I write up his name. Alright. Alright, Mr. Sanchez, you had no priors of recent speeding. Right now, I'm gonna cut you a little
No
loose.
priors.
I'm gonna get you with
For
a
recent
warrant.
speeding? How does that make sense? With the
You have-
warrant?
you had like you haven't got a ticket recently for speeding. Alright.
Well,
I'm gonna
talk
give you a
little bit
warning this
slower.
time.
Maybe your brain can understand what you're saying.
You really want me to write you this ticket? You really want me to write you this ticket?
So
for
you're gonna
speeding
write me a
miles an hour?
ticket because of freedom of speech?
No.
Okay, so then.
Alright.
Why are you
So
upset?
I'm gonna issue this warning. Whenever I turn my lights off, you're free to go.
Listen, do me a favor,
Yes, sir.
Breathe in, and then breathe out, and then talk. You're going a little too fast.
You are
Alright.
going at a million mile an hour, man. I'm having trouble keeping up with you.
I talk really fast.
I
Alright.
know I'm a little old, but you don't gotta shove it in my face.
Alright, Mr. Sanchez. I'm ready. I'm stuttering. Alright, Mr. Sanchez, I'm giving you this warning at this time. If I see you speed, once again, I will write you a ticket. Whenever I turn off my lights, you're free to go.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Drive safe.
Good stuff. All right, cool.
Or do you want my
No,
buddy to do it?
but him to do it. Yep, he's up. Switch. Yep, cadet switch, and then other cadet. I want you doing this as if you're going to be writing him a ticket.
10-4.
We're going to do this in pairs of 2. Dragon and Sanchez, if you guys can take care of that, you guys, you know, give them tips and tricks on what they're doing wrong or whatever, or what to do. I'm going to do it with some other cadets so we can knock these out in pairs. Try to keep radio comms to the minimum.
Well, whoever's next can come lead off on
The one that just pulled you over, the guy, they swapped seats. Who wants to go next?
501 and 603 will.
10-4. You guys are coming over
604,
here.
sorry.
Follow me. Shit, 501, you don't need to do this, just a cadet, okay?
Okay.
So, get him in the driver's seat, and we'll get him to do this, okay? Riker, I want you doing this as if you are issuing somebody a fine, okay? Alright, I'm gonna pull ahead and pull me over.
Is going to be on a 1011 with a black 4-door Dodge Charger, occupancy times 2, no 32 speed.
Give him hell.
Good afternoon, Cadet Wilson 604 with the LSPD. You know I'm pulling you over.
I have no fucking clue, man. I'm minding my own business.
I got you doing 92 and a 55. Is there any reason for the speed?
Damn, 92. I ain't got that much of a lead foot.
Nah, I got my radar locked you at 92, sir.
Damn, that's wild. All right.
Can I get your license, registration, and proof of insurance, please?
Yeah.
Why are you on my side?
For his safety.
It's
open road.
I'm in the middle of the road.
Yeah. I like it. It's good. No, I like it. Good. So.
Alright, there we go. Alright, Mr. Hawk, go ahead and sit tight for me, alright?
Oh,
I
Try to
appreciate
get you out of here as soon as possible.
I appreciate it. Damn, bro, you're gonna get us both in jail.
I don't know why I have a gun in my hand.
This fucking damn near pistol whip my ass.
The fuck? I was trying to have the finger. Hold on, I'm just gonna get out real quick.
Hey, go fuck yourself, pig. Go fuck yourself.
Oh!
Damn! Chill.
Alright, can I get another group from the hangar to pull over their white Maserati, please?
How do I change it?
Tab.
There we go.
That's it, let us know. We're not gonna stand here all day.
Yeah, who's up next? Let's move. If you've already completed it, go back and
Doing
sit
right.
there. Yeah, chop chop.
603 and 602 will be heading en route.
Okay, come on.
Having vehicle issues right now.
That is unnecessary. Alright, Mr.
603, you
Hawk,
might wanna
unfortunately,
turn your
at
mic
this time,
volume up
I'm
when
going to
you're,
be
when
issuing
you're
you
done with
a
that scene. We can barely hear you.
citation for
Shit.
going 30 over.
Alright.
Damn.
I cut it down just a little bit because you were cooperative with me.
Alright, alright.
Alright. If you want to go ahead and sign here at the bottom, it is
What if you
not
done it going the wrong way?
notice saying that you will take care of this ticket within the next 7 days.
The white Maserati was right in front.
Alright, cool. Appreciate it. Yeah, yeah. Gotcha.
We're coming.
Okay.
Oh, can you not hear me, brother? I'm sorry. I wasn't talking loud enough. Yeah, yeah, nah.
Okay, no, it's just
That's
like
good.
signs
Yeah, I'm sorry.
over your head.
Yeah, no, I was speaking. I was on whisper, I guess. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, I understand.
Alright. Did you sign it?
Yeah.
Alright, if you want to go ahead and hand me back that clipboard. Hand me back. Alright,
602 and
here's
603
here's your
shading
copy,
a
here's
1011
all your
appears to be a
information.
white
You are good
Maserati.
to pull off once I get back to my
License
vehicle.
plate is
All right, I appreciate it, officer. Thank you.
EUL199. No additional 32s at this time.
Four is going to be code 4 back 10 April 11.
Good stuff, Riker. Good stuff. All right, you guys got any questions on 1011s?
How long was this gonna last?
We
Not to
got
complain, I'm just wondering.
we got to go over code 5s, which is probably going to be a little bit more in depth. That's probably going to be our longest one. Our next one is pit. That's going to take you like 10 minutes. And then 1080s, I'm just going to go over them. We're not going to actually do 1080s. So
Thank God, because I'm on a time crunch.
yeah,
So.
probably 30 minutes.
Alright, I have 30 minutes. Wait, do I have 30 minutes? Let me check. I have 30 minutes.
Cool.
Alright, I appreciate it, but no, 10 minutes are easy. I just stutter a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, definitely, brother. Just slow it down a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
I appreciate you trying to. I appreciate you trying to be quick and everything, but yeah, we need to make sure they're understanding and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get this over with.
I feel it. I know it, but you know, we all got to start somewhere.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The only thing I had trouble with, only thing I honestly will have trouble with is MDT, but of course that's.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, we'll do. You'll get that once we start getting you on duty. This is your first time on duty.
Yes,
you
sir.
know.
Yes, sir. Yep.
So.
Hey man, I'm gonna pay it, so I don't care.
Right. Your FTO will go over all that stuff too, all the other little stuff, but this is just general scene stuff that we do.
Do we have to do a ride along too?
Yeah.
You trying to do my ride along tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow.
Alright, so I'll hit you in the DMs and Discord if you're available.
Just there is a FTO request on the PD website.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright.
Just hit me up, brother. Or hit up any FTO.
Will do, cause I'm trying to get out of these clothes.
I feel it, man. I feel it.
I'm trying to get like you. Trying to get that scat pack.
Scat pack. You got any questions over there, brother?
Yeah. So how long does it take for me to get a scat pack?
I don't think you can't get this until
Ugh.
Corporal or Sergeant. I can't remember.
Oh my goodness.
Now the other charge over there, you can get an officer that he's got.
Yeah. No, that's a dookie one.
It ain't that bad though. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
outdated.
You gotta go in 200.
yeah.
Okay, it might go 200, but look at the body frame. It's outdated.
Better than the CPV.
Yeah.
My BMW can outrun that thing.
Better than some, brother.
Outfits are outdated.
Also, you jumped out of your car, so.
Facts, brother.
I accidentally flexed
Hey,
my-
Chris, I ain't gonna lie, brother. Your driving on the way here wasn't the best. I don't know if you can handle the scat pack.
Listen. I don't want to talk about my driving, alright? Let's talk about your driving, alright? My driving record is perfect. I definitely don't have one speeding ticket. Definitely.
I got none.
Cool.
I mean, I'll get better at driving.
Yeah. All right.
What she said.
When everyone is
Did he tell
done,
me-
what's up?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Did he tell me to put my right tail light or my right headlight at his back left tail light?
The right tail light should face my back, left tail light. I mean,
Hey, firm.
right
Hey, someone was
headlight,
shooting shots.
left tail light.
We gotta go to that. No, forget this training. We gotta go help some people out. We got shot. You maybe made a little John.
To add to the training for future reference, if you're interested in hearing.
Yeah. What's up?
So, I don't know if you know this. I mean, I'm sure you do. So the area in between the suspect vehicle and your vehicle is called the kill zone.
Mhm.
You know, all
Right.
officers should be staying out of that because you
Yeah.
don't know who you're pulling over.
Oh, 100%.
You know, it could be someone who's armed and dangerous, could have warrants, bolos. You just don't know what they're gonna do.
Right.
And if you're in that kill zone, they can just throw their car in reverse and pin you in between
Yeah.
their car and your car, and you're dead.
It is great practice to walk around the back side of your vehicle and approach the opposite side of the car. It's great practice, and if someone does it, kudos, great. I mean, I don't go in between. I stay on the driver's side. I think that's more personal preference in my opinion, but you are right. I'm not going to argue with that. Yeah, I mean, it is best to, You know, if you get out of your car, say this is, let's say, like, your car is a suspect car. You know, I'm pulling up my right rear to your left, my right front to your left rear, getting out. You know, you're walking around the back side of the car and approaching the car from this side. You know, that is great practice.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, why do you guys not do that? That's what I had to do.
Yeah, just
Because I don't fucking
always
like
wanna-
to.
You just gotta stay out of here.
Yeah.
I know that. Stay out of here. 'Cause I ain't trying to
Yeah,
get
100%.
paralyzed, but
Never
some
stay in
people-
behind here, yeah.
Because some people say when you're pulling over someone on the highway, you can get penetrated by another car because you're right here.
Well, it happens, yeah. But that's why you park your car at an angle too. So I park my car and I walk to the front and get right in front of my car, and I come right here. That's what I do. We're gonna do code 5 real quick. I need you guys to come back here. Dragon and Sanchez, you guys, do you guys want to be a part of the code 5?
Hands up
one
and
thing
go
I've
on
kind of learned about
We're not going to do the training of
what's the
code
muscle
5s.
to arrest someone?
We're going to just go over it.
Oh, great. All right.
Let's go do that real quick, guys.
We go F6 to San Antonio.
Alright, cadets, I guess you guys are engaged by the bow.
You got to go, Sanchez.
We'll just have to cover it out in the field, is all. The price pay for getting it wrong is about 10 times worse.
This, like I said, guys, this is just a classroom that you guys are supposed to be sponges and just get all this information. Yes, you will do all this training out in the field with your FTO, but this is so you guys know what to do when you are presented with a situation. You guys should have a
Understood.
general understanding.
Understood.
All of this stuff can be found in the SOPs as well.
I'm the only phase. I'm a phase 1.
Can I ask a question? Who actually read the SOP? All of it.
Facts, me, I did last night.
Hey, I read the SOP for like 30 minutes.
Okay,
not
so
even.
I've read a decent amount.
so what does the last page on the SOP talk about? If you read it.
I said
No,
I
I read
read
the
it,
last
not
page.
I know the second to last is activity, and then activity
Yeah,
quota,
but he said
and then
personal
that's the
stuff.
second to last page, and then the last page was well, yeah. Did anyone else read it?
I read it for 30 minutes. I didn't read it all.
It's personal activity. It contains how many hours you are required. The biggest thing there is how many hours you are required to be on duty as a
What he said.
I read.
Appearance.
What he said. I don't read what he said. I agree what he said. It could be wrong, but I still agree
So
with it.
that's the last page according to you, right?
Appearance. Last page is like clothing and shit like that. I'm
I
pretty
think
sure.
my cousin Lil John got shot in that drive-by shooting. I don't know.
Alright, let's continue because I want to go home.
Yeah, 100%.
yeah.
Okay, everyone, quiet please for the time being. Code 5s. Code 5s do not happen that often. You know, we do have active warrants and bolos. You know, if you are during your 1011s, when you get, you know, someone's identification and stuff like that, and you go back to your car and you identify someone that has an active warrant or a bolo, this is when you initiate a code 5. If you already know that the vehicle has an active bolo, you are to request additional 32s as a code 5 before you get out the car. If the car doesn't have an active bolo on it, then you're still doing your regular 1011. You know, if they give you their ID and everything, and they end up having active bolo, this is why you're in your car. You're in your car. You should be whispering and not shouting, so they can't hear you. The suspects can't hear you. You're asking for additional 32s for them to come. You do not get out of your car until 32s come and they get to the scene. How the vehicles should be set up for code 5. I'm going to use this Panto as the suspect car. One sec. So that's the primary car that got there. When secondary comes here, they are to block the middle of the road for traffic and come at another angle. Okay? No one is to get out the car because primary still has control over the scene. When secondary gets there, secondary, you need to say, I'm 23, we are ready. Then primary, you are to instruct everyone else that's on scene, all right, we're getting out in 3, 2, 1. Everyone gets out the car, and you should immediately have your gun out. whether that be it. If there's no guns, there at least one person should have a taser, have non-lethal, and the rest should be non-lethal. Okay, if there's only two of you, non-lethal and lethal. That way, if they don't have a gun, we don't need you. You are not permitted to shoot anybody, that doesn't have a gun or isn't causing an immediate threat. You can tase them, if permitted, and blah blah blah. Anyways, you guys get out the car. You are shouting at this time to instruct the driver and anyone in the vehicle to step out the car individually. So first and foremost is the main person as a suspect. Whether that, which is the driver in this case. You tell the driver to get out with his hands up. He needs to get out. If they don't get out and they just drive off, you get back in your car, 1080, you know what to do. They get out, you need to instruct them. I need you to go into your eyes and walk straight back. They are to have their back to you at all times and walking back to you. At this time, you also need to instruct anyone else in the car to stay put. Do not get out the car. Don't do anything else. While primary is instructing the suspect to keep walking backwards, when the primary has was within cuffing distance of the suspect, secondary, you need to be taking, covering them, that make sure that's going to happen so they can go for cuffs. At that time, they need to be placing to get them in cuffs and put them in the car, and then doing the same thing for anybody else in the car, okay? And when everyone is detained and everyone is safe and everything, at that time, then we can assess the situation further. We need to be checking the vehicle. We need to be running any plate checks, see if it's stolen or anything. We need to be checking the trunk to see if there's any illegal items in it or anything like that. After that, then we need to be talking to anybody in addition that's not a part of the active warrant, so that was in the car. If there is additionals, if they haven't broken any laws, they don't have an active warrant for their arrest, they can be released, okay? As long as they don't have anything that can harm us or anything like that, okay? They weren't doing anything wrong. They were just being detained for our safety. If they don't have an active warrant or BOLO, they are free to go, and they can go from there. At that time, you need to be reading the rights to the person that has an active warrant out for their arrest. Like, all right, sir, or blah blah, the whole read your rights, and then you go and impound the vehicle, get rid of it or whatever, and then you transport them to MRPD for questioning. You are not to be questioning people out in public during the scene. That gives, whether they have a hostage or not, if they had an additional with them, even though they didn't break they didn't break any rules or anything or break any laws, they don't have an active warrant, they might know the suspect still, and they could be calling people to come help him out or something. You need to get all this stuff squared away and then get him transported to MRPD for questioning. You don't do questioning out in the street, okay? Does anyone have any questions? Okay. No one has no questions about Code 5s, huh? Any officers or above have anything to add on that?
No.
All right. I'm gonna warn everybody here. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna warn everybody here. One of these people that has a Code 5 right now, he knows it, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna be doing some nasty things to whoever pulls him over if y'all see him. I'll
Does
be
his
honest.
last name start with Sanchez?
I don't know why you guys
What the
keep thinking
fuck?
that I do crime. Like, no, I'm
You have
being
a
so
bolo
serious.
out for your name, buddy.
I know I have a bolo. It's because of him and Carter who keep telling me that I do crime. Like,
Yeah, guys, that's really none of everyone else's business but Kyle's and internal affairs, okay? That's really does not pertain to anybody else.
Bolo, so I was
Yep.
my
Well,
fault, I didn't mean to
I
say that.
don't know. If we really wanna just bring out dirt like that, that's kind of fucked up, man.
yeah, that's
Well,
yeah,
I'm
that's
so
that has nothing to do. That has
I
nothing
don't
to.
care what you do
let's-
on your off time.
All right, stop.
Enough.
You guys have no clue what this man does on his off time.
Exactly.
So it's
That is
tough, bro.
between Kyle and internal affairs only. Nobody else. All right, we are moving on. Stop. Holy fuck. All right, 1080s. Jesus, I'm sorry, y'all. It's just when I say stop, stop. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a dickhead or nothing, but I'm not trying to waste anybody's time either. But like I said, that's no one else's business but Kyle's and everybody and who it pertains to. 1080s. You guys, primary, your main job is to stay have eyes on the on the vehicle in question and the vehicle in pursuit at all times. That's your main thing. Is to stay and just focus on them, not on call outs or anything like that, unless there's nobody else with you at the time, obviously. If you have additionals and stuff, that's their responsibility. If you are all by yourself, then yes, you need to do the call outs and stuff like that. But for 1080s, we more than usually have more than one. We have primary, secondary, and tertiary, and all that jazz. You guys need to be giving ample space for primary to do his job. Secondary and tertiary and everybody else in the 1080, you are not competing with primary to take primary. No one's getting promotion because you arrested someone as primary. Your sole job is literally to back up primary in anything that happens. Whether that means primary spun out or hit a local or something like that, and then you're able to move in and take primary. You aren't to be competing for primary when primary is already engaging in the 1080 and already in front of the chasing the suspect. You need to give them ample braking distance. They're going based off all of reaction speed. Watching the people in front of them. You need to be giving them ample braking distance and everything like that, and everyone needs to be mindful of their own bubble. Everyone has different, everyone has a different ping. You all know what your guys' brain is capable of. Some people know that they, aren't the best driver, or they, they lag a lot or whatever. You need to take that into account. Too many times secondary is rear-ending primary and it just fucks the whole thing and they get away. Too many times. You guys need to be assisting them, not competing, okay? You need to be helping out as much as possible. Secondary, your main job is to keep eyes on primary, not the vehicle, the primary. You need to be keeping eyes on primary and making sure that you got eyes on him, because primary is supposed to be taking care of the suspect, keeping eyes on them. You need to be keeping eyes on primary so you can, give out call outs where everybody's at and what we're doing and what direction we're heading in. And then as soon as if primary spins out or something, primary, you do not move. If you fail as primary and you spin out or hit something, you wait. If you start backing up trying to correct yourself to get back in the thing, you're going to be striked as well. You need to allow secondary to move in because they didn't wreck or they didn't 1080 or 1050 or you guys know what I'm saying. I'm getting tired of talking tonight.
Yeah, they didn't wreck, and if the secondary, is on their ass, and
right,
reposition themselves.
Exactly.
Secondary to crash.
Exactly. I mean, too many times I've seen primary spin out and then try to reverse, and then they run right in to get back into the chase, and then they ran right into secondary, and then no one's got a chance. You're here to help everyone, guys. We're not here to compete. That's the main thing. That's all I really want to say about that. Does any officers or above have anything to say about that?
Negative Ghost Rider.
All right.